What's up, YouTube? I am the Vanilla Nerd, and today I am going to review the Super Mario Bros. Movie. As usual, there will be spoilers for this movie from start to finish, but since it's a standalone film right now, and the sequel has not yet come out as of time recording, there's nothing else to spoil. So yeah, just spoilers for this movie and this movie alone. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to acknowledge is that this is a fandom I am not very familiar with. Confession time, I'm not a video game person. I have nothing against them, and I know there are some really excellent stories told through the medium of video games that couldn't work as effectively in a movie or book or other format. But ultimately, I just don't love playing video games. There comes a point in pretty much every video game where there's a section or a boss fight or a level that is really hard and challenging. And some video gamers have that drive to just keep working at it until they get it right, and they don't mind the hours of effort that has helped them hone and get better at the video game to get past that point. But that's not me, and I really don't like getting stuck like that, and I don't like the person I become when I hit that wall, which is why I like very tame video games. Because I do play a video game from time to time, but it's mostly like Lego Star Wars or an RTS game on easy modes. But I digress. All of that is to say that I've never really played a proper Super Mario Bros. Video game. Yes, I've played Super Mario Bros. Go-Kart plenty of times at friends' houses and stuff like that, and I do remember playing Super Mario Bros. Party, and I can't remember which one. It was like 6 or 7, maybe it was 5. I have no idea. But that was a fun cooperative play type game that I played with my family every once in a while. And of course, I have played my fair share of Super Smash Bros. Numerous times at party events. But like in terms of one of the more traditional video games where you are Mario and your goal is to stop Bowser, I've never done anything like that. It's interesting for me to review this movie since I am so unfamiliar with the source material. Usually when I'm reviewing a superhero movie or a Star Wars movie or something, I'm very familiar with what inspired the film, and I usually include that as part of my review. How well did they adapt it? What parts of the adaptation or interpretation did I not like? But I can't do that with this movie, and I don't even want to attempt to. So, if nothing else, I think this review will be fascinating for people to see how an outsider to this fandom would react. And can I just say, as an outsider to this fandom, I really appreciate how well this movie appealed to a broader audience. I didn't feel very lost throughout most of the movie. Everything made sense. I'm sure there were inside jokes that went right over my head. I don't care. This movie was so good and so well done that it made me want to play a proper Super Mario Brothers game just to get invested in the source material a little bit, you know? And that's the power of this movie, and that's the quality of this film. And it's not just the Super Mario Brothers movie. There are numerous movies doing this. I've heard it all the time with superhero movies, is trying to appeal to people who don't know what superheroes are. And I've never been on the other side, but to see it done so well in this film was just really exciting and really gratifying and really cool. How did I react to the Super Mario Bros. Movie? Well, I reacted very positively. I really enjoy the Super Mario Bros. Movie. The first time I watched it, I think I was expecting something deeper or more noteworthy, but in the end, it's just a popcorn action adventure movie, and it's really fun. It has some heart, it has some good character moments, but they aren't what make the movie, and that's a little unfortunate, but ultimately I don't care. It's a fun action movie, and I have a blast watching it. Even though this film isn't very special or anything crazy amazing about it, it was a very faithful adaptation of the video game, at least as I understand it, and certainly more faithful than the movie they made back in the early 90s. And I'm not trying to speculate on the fandom with that, I'm just trying to say that this movie laid a good foundation, because they have made a sequel, it's coming out later this year, and they are probably planning on a sequel to that sequel. I would not be surprised if future movies use this first movie as a foundation to build off of and tell more compelling stories in the future. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start by talking about the characters. What did I like about each of them? So, starting with Mario, I really liked Mario. He was funny, he had a dry sense of humor that I appreciated, and his determination was fantastic. They referenced it in the movie, and we see it multiple times that no matter how bad he gets beaten up, he always keeps going and keeps pushing through. It's a great quality to give the protagonist of a video game movie especially. It's a natural way to show the video game mentality, and I loved it. Like, I really appreciated in the opening scene of the movie, Mario and his brother shortcut through a construction zone. And it has all the sounds of a video game along with some of the common mechanics, lifting elevators and stuff like that. And it was a really fun way to give a nod to the video game source material. But also it worked really well as foreshadowing for the rest of the movie. Also, the scene is set to the music of No Sleep Till Brooklyn, which was also a song used prominently in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is hilarious because it came out in the same year and also starred Chris Pratt. He just can't get away from that song, can he? No Sleep Till Brooklyn, man. But moving on, we have Mario's brother Luigi is the next character I want to talk about. And like many people, I am sad with how underutilized Luigi was. Some people are bothered that he just gets captured by Bowser and doesn't do anything else. But based on what little I do know about those Super Mario video games, they have always been a damsel in distress plot. So if Princess Peach isn't going to be the damsel in distress, then it's gotta be someone. But I do think Luigi works a little bit better as the damsel in distress than Princess Peach, since Mario would have a stronger motivation to save his brother than some random princess that he might not have ever even met. Or maybe he just met her for a couple of seconds or a couple of days before she gets captured at the start of the movie. However, I still don't think this justifies Luigi's characterization, since he's a very passive character throughout most of this film. My personal suggestion is I would have liked it if he was actively trying to escape from Bowser's prison. It would have been fun to see him interact with some of the other captured prisoners and figure out a plan to escape. This would have been a natural way to do more world building because we could have met some of the other captured video game characters that were in Bowser's prison. But more than that, it would have shown Luigi as a competent and capable character in his own right, especially since this movie claims to be the Super Mario Brothers movie, but is lacking one of the brothers significantly. And I'm not saying his escape plan has to work. I'm not saying his escape plan has to actually get him out without the help of his brother or anything. They could easily have him get past the initial guards, but then Bowser catches them before they're able to get off his island. Or maybe his escape just helps them climb the chains, so they're able to avoid the lava a little bit easier. I don't know, and ultimately it doesn't matter because this is the movie we got. And while I do stand by this change and think it would have made the movie better, I don't want to rain on the creators' parade. The creators of this film spent years making this movie, so if they have one aspect of it that's not quite perfect, who cares? Because in the end, Luigi does make a choice, and it is the most powerful scene in the entire movie. In my opinion, when Luigi uses a sewer plate as a shield to save his brother Mario from getting blasted to death by Bowser's fire, that is the best scene in the entire film. It's powerful, it's exciting, and it reemphasizes the love the brothers have for each other, and I think that's amazing. But moving on to Bowser. Bowser was great. Jack Black did an excellent job bringing the character to life. I like how they leaned into the ridiculous nature of Bowser wanting to marry Princess Peach. All of the scenes where he's practicing talking with Peach with his little magic underling was hilarious to me. But more than that, despite Bowser's goofy personality, they made him an absolutely intimidating force. Like at the end of the film, when it's just the heroes versus Bowser, I get why it's a challenge. You may have Peach, Donkey Kong, Toad, and others on top of Mario, but you can't stop this 10 or 12 foot tall lizard turtle thing that shoots fire. So yeah, I liked Bowser. Next, we have Toad, and all I'm going to say about Toad is that he was great comedic relief. Every scene with him was entertaining and funny in some way, shape, or form. So I think they did a good job with the side character. He wasn't too annoying, he wasn't overused, and that's great. I will say it's a bit odd how quickly he attaches himself to Mario. He's just willing to go to the ends of the earth to help Mario and Princess Peach and his own kingdom. I get it, but it still feels like he becomes best friends with Mario the second they meet, and you're just like, okay, sure. And finally, I want to end on Princess Peach. She is awesome. She is so cool. I love how determined she is. I love how confident she is. And what I really love the most about Princess Peach is that during the entire movie, she is the most competent person in the room at all times. I love how she is willing to work with Mario and train him so that he can help save his brother. I love how she puts the mushroom people first. She truly is a good princess. And I love the plan she comes up with to stop Bowser. So yeah, Peach is cool. Also, her motorcycle is really cool looking, and I like that she's the only one to ride a motorcycle in the film, and she's one of the only ones to actually make it through Rainbow Road, along with Toad. So, yay, they're both very skilled. To be fair, Mario was being specifically targeted, so there's that. Okay, so those are all the major characters I want to talk about. I know I missed a few, but those are most of the ones that are important. So, If any of my confusion over the characters was incorrect because of some known information from the video game, I do apologize. I understand a certain character might have acted a certain way in order to be true to the original adaptation, and I just didn't get it because I'm not a part of this fandom. So if there was any confusion, I do apologize. But moving on to the plot, as I said before, I am fine with the damsel in distress plot, and I do like that it's the Ouija who is captured because I feel like it's a more natural motivation to give Mario than a princess that, based on the way this movie was structured, he would have only known for a short time at the beginning of the movie, had she been captured. The really cool thing for me that I liked about the plot was how many ways they were able to introduce the video game aesthetic. I'm talking about the regular levels. I already said at the beginning I liked the construction zone that Mario and Luigi took a shortcut through, but I also appreciate Mario's training, which was very classic Super Mario Bros. Video game design. And then when he faces off against Donkey Kong, they're in this arena, which is exactly like a video game level, I am sure. And then you have Rainbow Road with the go-karts, which is really fun. The lack of guardrails on that track is just as terrifying in a movie as it is in the video game. But perhaps my favorite aspect of this is at the end, when they're fighting Bowser, the movie switches. The entire film, they have shot action scenes in a very video game-esque way. But in the end, when they're fighting Bowser, they switch it to a more cinematic way. It's kind of hard to describe, but I just think they did such a fantastic job with the camera angles, with the lighting, with the action scene at the end, where they're in New York, they're trying to stop Bowser, nothing is working, and then Luigi and Mario are able to grab the superstar just in the nick of time. It's great, it's wonderful. I love it. Also, the fact that Mario and his brother Luigi get to team up using the superstar, perfection. So good. Lastly, in talking about the video game mechanics, I really appreciate how they introduced the audience to the various power-ups, whether it was red mushrooms doing different things, blue mushrooms shrinking you down, or the flowers giving you elemental powers. It was all done very well. It's really cool that even though we'd never seen a blue flower before, when Peach eats the blue flower and gets ice power, it makes sense, and I wasn't lost. Earlier, she ate a red flower and got fire powers, so naturally it made sense that a blue flower would give her ice powers. And I know this is something that was probably baked into the video game decades ago, but as a movie enthusiast, it's just a really smart way of visually showing and expanding the magic system of your world. And it's something I wish movies would do more often, using natural color differences to distinguish powers and abilities. Also, using the blue mushroom to shrink Bowser down was a really fun and intelligent way of beating the big bad evil guy. I really liked that. They foreshadowed that with Mario having taken the blue mushroom back when he fought Donkey Kong, and so having it come up again and shrinking Bowser down just worked really well and was a very satisfying conclusion to the movie. I will say, as an outsider to this fandom, it was a little weird that two big action scenes were resolved by Mario wearing some kind of animal costume. Like, the way he beats Donkey Kong is by wearing a cat suit, and when he goes to save his brother, he's wearing a beaver suit. Oh, and the beaver suit apparently has a tail that can spin so fast it functions as a helicopter. Now, I'm not trying to get mad at the reality of this game or anything. At the end of the day, you're eating mushrooms for power-ups. I get it. But as an outsider who did not know that this was an aspect of the games, I'm very surprised. I guess it is pretty common for him to wear animal-themed suits in order to beat levels, but again, as an outsider to this fandom, it's a little weird. And finally, we have the setting. I absolutely love that this film is animated. It just works so well. They are able to translate the vibe and feel of the Super Mario Bros. Games so excellently onto the big screen. I know a lot of people are tired with the same old trope of people in the real world coming into the video game world and having to learn the rules of that world. They've done this in countless video game movies at this point, and I agree. I wish they could have figured out a way to tell a story in which the Mushroom Kingdom and Bowser are just normal, everyday things of Mario and Luigi's world. But that's not what we got, and that's a little unfortunate. However, by the end of the film, they were living in the Mushroom Kingdom, so I think those things are becoming normal to Mario and Luigi. And as I said before, this movie, I think, is in a lot of ways going to be a really good foundation for future Super Mario Bros. Stories. This first movie had to be a little exposition heavy and had to have the real world join with the video game world and do some other stuff, but ultimately, I think the next movie and the movies and shows planned thereafter are going to be able to build off of this film and can in a lot of ways just ignore the fact that there even is a real world. So I'm okay with that trope in this first movie. I just hope in the next movie they have much less of the, quote, real world. But that's it, really. That's the Super Mario Brothers movie. It's an animated, fun film. My son and I had a blast watching it, and I look forward to watching the sequel. It's got good characters, good plot, and good setting. Some really fun action scenes. I really enjoyed all of the video game-esque levels. I enjoyed the go-kart racing. I enjoyed the fight against Bowser. It just worked really well as an action-adventure film. I don't think the movie was very deep, but I will say, as I said before, I do really like when Luigi defends his brother. It's an emotionally powerful scene that pays off the line from the whole movie. We're brothers, and nothing can hurt us as long as we're together. So good. So, those are my thoughts on the Super Mario Brothers movie. What did you guys think about the film? Did you like it? Did you hate it? If you are a Super Mario Brothers fan, what did I get wrong? What did I miss? Did you have anything else to add to my review? Thanks. Leave all your comments down in the comment section below.